Hey guys, welcome back. Wanted to do a video on Joe Rogan, and it's fairly well known that he had a hair transplant in his younger days. The fact is now he shaves his head and he has much less to worry about, no stresses. He also advises other young men to shave their head if they're losing their hair, and the reason being is he knows. He's been down that road of using medications and understanding the consequences, the side effects of using concealer. In fact, he just spoke about LeBron James the other day, where I guess LeBron had an issue with concealer coming off during a game, and one of his teammates pointed it out to him. Imagine the stress of going through that. For what? It's really not necessary. Like he suggested to LeBron, just shave your head. It's a lot easier. So, was Joe Rogan's hair transplant a failure? I've seen that question asked online. And the fact is, it was not a failure. Some in the industry would like you to believe it was a failure, because if they were to admit that it was a success, that would kind of blow their game. The fact is, at some point, the numbers are going to go against you. And Joe found that out, like many of us did, because we didn't understand the math to begin with. We were too young, too insecure, and too stressed out about hair to understand the procedure and to understand the math. So it's not possible for you to cover your hair from donor that's limited. It's going to constantly dwindle. If you have 100,000 hairs on your head, you lose 50,000, and you can take from 50,000. You can only take so much. You can't take 50,000, that's for sure. You can't even take half. So you can't even achieve 50% density with a hair transplant long term, because you simply do not have the donor. It's less than 50%. It's closer to 30%. So eventually Joe probably found that out. And lucky for Joe, his head's not all scarred up. So he can shave his head, and he can joke about it now. But a lot of guys can't. A lot of guys can't shave their head because their heads are so scarred up. And even with the newer procedures, a lot of these guys that went for FUE, the punches were so large because the doctors don't know what they're doing, that they have white dots all over their head. Can they shave their head? They probably could, but the fact is they would be so stressed out about all the scarring, which is understandable, that they're probably not going to shave their head, and they're going to continue to just stress about it every day. And so this is the reality of a hair transplant. And no, Joe Rogan's hair transplant was not a failure. It was a stunning success. But it can only be a success for a very, very short period of time, because hair loss is progressive. And in the end, if you start too soon, the math will never add up. Thank you for watching my video. See you on the next one.